Hi, my name is Grady and you're welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about productivity, filmmaking, and everything I think about or I'm curious about on my journey to finding wisdom, if that makes any sense. Has anyone ever hit you up to ask you, hey, how are you? Long time. It's been a while since I heard from you. Where have you been? And you'd be like, I'm busy. And the next person asks you, I'm busy. And you say it so many times, it becomes a sort of mantra to you. I'm one of those people. I'm always busy doing one thing or another. But then recently, I started wondering, is this thing not becoming too much? Why am I busy all the time? And is it even healthy for me to be so busy all the time, trying to fill up my time with whatever activity I feel like I need to be doing? Sometimes it feels so abnormal to just sit still and do nothing. I feel like I need to constantly fill every second of my day with some activity that is hopefully productive. In fact, I started wondering, is it possible to become addicted to being busy? Time is running, literally, so it doesn't make sense for me to, let's say, a whole hour pass by without doing anything. I try as much as possible to pack as much as I can into my day. I multitask. Sometimes my multitasking is so ridiculous. Maybe I feel the need to be busy because I think the opposite of being busy is laziness, when in fact the opposite of being busy is prioritization. While I was looking for solutions to my busyness addiction, I found that I'm actually already taking some useful steps, but I need to be more deliberate about them. One of those steps is delegating. This was one thing I learned from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. His book, it's such a good book. I haven't finished it and I think it's going to take a long time for me to finish because my approach to that book is read, implement, because it really is that good. So the one major thing that I delegate right now is housework. I used to do a lot of housework. My husband and I, we just used to do it ourselves. But then we figured that if we got someone else, if we paid someone else to do it, it would free up time to do other things that we care about. There's still housework to be done, but yeah, it's definitely not as much as it used to be. The second thing I do is time blocking. I have tried and failed several times to work with a timetable. I would say 7 o'clock, do this, 7:30, do this, yada, yada, yada. And then I'll fill my entire week with activities I should be doing at whatever particular time. And it didn't work because it was just too tight. I was coming from a place of not structuring my day at all to trying to have this military type regimen. What I do right now is I make it much looser. My timetable right now has a lot more white space. So what I do is, instead of saying brush your teeth this particular time, eat to this particular time, I just have a block of time for major tasks. So on my timetable for a day, I might not have more than 5 activities, and then I'll give larger blocks of time for that. There are so many ways you can do time blocking. You could say, okay, I'm going to work on these tasks today, and for this one I'm going to spend a minimum of 20 minutes. For this one I'm going to spend a minimum of 1 hour, and then you do that whatever time it is that you find to do that. Just make sure that you give it that allotted time that you have agreed. So there are so many ways you can do it, but it helps. You need to structure your day. And if you don't follow your timetable every single day exactly as it should be, don't beat yourself up, right? These things are supposed to be a guide, basically. The third thing I do is trying to make time for the things that matter to me. That is my hobbies, my family, and making time for listening to things like podcasts and movies. I know I like to multitask a lot. I feel like it's a waste of time just watching a movie or just listening to a podcast without doing anything else. But once in a while, I don't do this very often, once in a while, I just let myself take an hour or two to just enjoy a movie or enjoy a podcast while doing nothing else. Try it sometime. And the fourth thing, you would be shocked how much time you actually spend getting food into your mouth. I want you to do an exercise today or tomorrow. Right from when you wake up, try to keep a mental note of how much time you spend thinking about food, buying food or buying ingredients, preparing food, eating food, clearing up after eating food. Our food related activities take a whole lot of time that we're not even taking into consideration. There are some days that I'm cooking and cleaning and preparing food and eating and clearing up after for like 4 hours, maybe more, sometimes less. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. But what I try to do these days is, instead of making 3 meals, cooking 3 proper meals every single day, I've tried to reduce that to 2, right? So sometimes we can have the same thing we had for lunch at dinner, and then we can have the same thing we had for breakfast at lunch. But of course, there are other things that I'm not currently doing that I would like to pick up, and one of those is deep focus. So deep focus is actually really difficult to achieve because there are so many distractions today. I mean, we've got our phones, we try to multitask, but I believe that when you focus really deeply on the task, once you're able to get to that point where you can focus really deeply on the task that you're working on, you'll probably be able to get more done in less time. That's what I think. Something else I feel like I need to pick up is social interaction. Oh my goodness. I suck at social interaction, both online and offline, by the way. And something else I would really like to do is to just take time and be still. When the COVID thing first hit and everybody had to stay at home, for like the first couple of weeks, I would just go outside and sit with my husband. It used to be so peaceful because we're coming from this life of waking up early every day, doing 1 hour on the road every day to get to work. So, I mean, just having those moments of stillness together, taking in fresh air, it was amazing. Everybody agrees that no one pursuit can be successfully followed by a man who is busied with many things, since the mind, when its interests are divided, takes in nothing very deeply, but rejects everything that is, as it were, crammed into it. There is nothing the busy man is less busied with than living. There is nothing that is harder to learn. Guys, that is deep. And if that doesn't put things in perspective for you, I don't know what will. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave me a comment, leave me a like, leave me a share, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like about this video, and of course share on social media, share with your friends and your family. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one, inshallah. Toodles.